as we'll see the number 13 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 1 team in the land, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Notre Dame lining up to kick off and get this one started. Looking for blockers. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. They challenge this crowd to bring the energy, and I'd say they're doing that. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19. Give him 1. SEC versus the Big Ten. They compete at everything. They try to outspend each other, and they certainly want to beat each other on the field.
So many national championships, so many Heisman Trophy winners shared between these two conferences, David. Everybody gets excited when the Big Ten takes it.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
And the defense coming through with the first sack of the day. I'll tell you what, this defense, they get so many negative plays, and they play so fast. Sometimes you think when you watch them on tape, they got 12 guys. Last week they pitched a shutout. This week playing a great ball again.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Pulls it in. It's Williams. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
I mean, the great news is you just came up with a huge completion on 3rd down, but the bad news is you're still miles away from picking up this first because of how poor you were 1st and 2nd down. Moving forward in this game, the offense has got to do a better job early in the drive to at least give them a chance to have some success.
So the last thing you want to do is start the game, first drive, go 3 and out. They won't do that here. They might go 4 and out, but they'll try to convert here. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Makes the catch past the sticks. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. You need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Looking downfield, it's Milroe. Pocket starts to collapse. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about?
Can anyone catch him? Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Alabama! And once he got loose, it was all over. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Line gets set, first down. They'll go to the ground. They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding him the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Wants to throw. It's Daniels. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. He's starting to get in touch with his inner Joe Montana as the Irish are moving the ball up top.
And I think that's always the question with the Irish every year is who's going to play quarterback. We know their brand and we know who they are, but are they going to get ballers at that position? Are they going to get a great Ian Book, a great Brady Quinn? That's the next step. And if they find that guy, Notre Dame can do everything they want to do and be great in college football.
And I love the idea of getting this guy screen throws because of his ability after the catch. So nice job getting downfield, getting a hat-on-hat, and giving him a tunnel to run through.
Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. With jet sweep pass. And he's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the call. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Looking for a productive play on first down. Oops, someone moved just a bit early, and the offense is going to pick up a penalty. Mental errors like that just kill drives. We'll see if they can overcome it. First down here for the offense. Wants to go up top. Still on his feet, but he can't get away again, and down he goes, and the trickeration is not so tricky. One of the mantras of the Crimson Tide is they want to make your rear end quit, and that defensive line can certainly do that.
Big, physical. You've seen all these guys up front. They're strong at the point of attack, and they make you earn everything you get. And the athleticism when they get you in passing situations and they know you're going to pass, they're going to come after your quarterback.
Looking to pass. It's Daniels. Makes the grab on the left. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on first and second down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So let's make sure you take care of the football and find those plays you really like.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. He fires to the left side. Makes the grab, gets the foot down, just precision execution on that big play.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
This is the absolute right call. They're going for it on fourth down. Wide receiver shows motion. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. At the 35, he's loose. And that's what this option will do to you. They got the pitch man free, and he was off to the races. start the drive here with first down to open this period. They're going to ride this running back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
The negative play leaves them with 2nd and 12. Leaves it with the running back. Dropped after a pickup of 3 down to the 26.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Quarterback will audible. On the move. What a nice job on the ground, working his way ahead for 7 yards and leaving them with 4 yards away. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. And the field goal unit will stay put as the head coach decides to go for it on 4th down. It's incomplete, and the defense makes a stop and gets the football back.
And sometimes the best defense is getting a little bit lucky. He was open. He had a chance to make a play. He just drops it through his hand. It was pretty good defense, but you take those breaks when you can get them.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
They'll ride the hot hand. Still running at the 40. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm always keeping track as a defensive coordinator of where they're running the football. You can see they ran it to the right. Do they like this matchup? Is the right side of their offensive line really good? I'm going to be paying attention to that because that's a big gain. I got to make sure I shut this down the next time they run it.
Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Just when they're looking run, now up top. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
Man, this defense has been so impressive to watch. Look at them. Get to the quarterback, get the sack. They play so fast. It's like they have 12 men on the field. Another good performance going down right now. Coming off of last week, putting a goose egg on the board against their last opponent.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth game if I were allowed to pull that push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
put a little bit of a drive together, but Jesse, they stalled him.
Nothing but green ahead. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now first down from the 39. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
On the move. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into a rhythm. Now they're letting them drive off the ball on first down on these running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And that'll be enough to give Notre Dame a first down. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. They're going to go right back to him on first down.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's Bob. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these third downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on second down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up 3rd and long, and now you're set up to fail.
And the ball's on the ground. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
You got to be able to finish plays, and that running back had it, man. He had a first down. Hold on to the football. You got to be able to finish runs. That's one thing this coaching staff is always preaching to their backfield.
So he took a chance by using a timeout on the challenge, and it comes back to bite him. We'll see if he needs that timeout later. Here comes that Alabama offense. They've got some time to work with here, Jesse, and if they get a first down, they might really get aggressive.
I'd be aggressive right out of the gate. I'd be throwing for a first down. If I get it, then it's pedal to the metal. I'm in that 2-minute mode to try to score a touchdown or get a field goal.
But I do think this is a situation where you also have to understand that I have the lead going into the half. I've got the momentum, so don't do anything stupid here.
And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
To the air, it's Milroe. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And he's got it at the 10. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense. 1st and goal from the 7. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. They want to get the ball back right now, lining up for an onside kick to start the second half. That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They start this third quarter, 1-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. pre-snap motion in the backfield. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and short from the 41. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
3rd and short, I have no problem with RPO because I can run it or I can throw it if I see something opening. Maybe he should have ran that one. You got 2 downs possibly to still try to make it happen, but he definitely didn't throw an accurate ball.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They really have no choice here. This is a no-brainer. You go for it here on this 4th down. He'll take it himself. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the 1st down.
Well, there you're seeing the mentality of this head coach in the game, going for it on 4th down. A lot of guys would have tried to kick a field goal, but I think this guy knows, hey, we're not going to win this game putting 3s up on the board. We need touchdowns. Nice attitude.
Notre Dame coming to the line with another 1st down. Gonna run it. It's Payne. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Line gets set. 1st down. Looking for a man. It's Daniels. Gets it to the back. On the move at the 30. Open runway ahead. And he's out of bounds, but not before a good, sizable pickup, and that has been a rare sight in this one.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
After that huge gain, now a chance to cash it in from just outside the 5. On the move. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal for the offense. Just going to keep it after the snap. And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we are tied up in the 3rd. They marched 58 yards for the touchdown on that one and finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Down for this offense. Quick pass on the jet motion. Crosses the 30. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the 1st down.
And these touch passes, it's so hard because there's always action off of it, right? If I fake this pass and I can run it up the gut or I can throw it and it just spread me out and make me defend so many things. And you could tell they got on the edge quickly, got the big 1st down.
A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
It's a nice game, but the big theme here is they just haven't been able to get the run game going on offense. They've been very one-dimensional. They're just not being physical enough to point of attack.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to pass, it's Milroe. On the run, still looking. Now he's going to throw back to the middle. And he's got it inside the 30-yard line.
How great is it to have a running back who can basically run your entire route tree? You don't see a lot of guys line up and then run vertically down the field, get open, and make a big play. This dude is special.
They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Looking to move it through the air. Got rid of it just in time. He gets rid of it, but I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag. And here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. They're trying to get to him. And whatever they did on first and second down, don't do that anymore. Third and very long coming up. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Man, they can barely see the first down marker from there, but they'll go for it on fourth. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete out of the backfield. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
And that's 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Just continuing to find the end zone, continuing to make plays. This guy is on pace for a great season. He's putting the college football world on notice.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. USC looks like a legit title contender right now. That offense is just having its way. They're up by 28 over LSU. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Here come the Irish back on offense. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Offense getting set for first down. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Getting some heat. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
And it's such an advantage for this defense to have an outside linebacker like that can rush the passer because they can set the edge. They can get off the ball, and they're just way too fast for tight ends or for offensive tackles to get out and block them.
Second down now after the sack. Back to throw, it's Daniels. Gets away from one. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. Notre Dame right back to the line. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He's got great speed. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. The offense set for a first down play. From the gun, the running back has it. Puts him in the spinner and moves on. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. First down to start the drive after the break. Wide out in motion. Touch pass on the run. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, David. It puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
Here comes his home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Little touch pass to the receiver. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And that's a gut punch, especially if you're the offensive coordinator, because that was sort of a foreign look, the pre-snap motion, a timing play, trying to get the receiver the football quickly. You're expecting to outflank the defense, but give the defense a ton of credit. They made the bigger play, and now they've set you up in a fourth down.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Makes the grab well past the sticks. Touchdown tie! Made the grab and finished the deal in the end zone.
And he finds the end zone again. I tell you what, man, this guy's going to be a force. You look at this offense, they find different ways to get him the football, different ways to use him. 3 times now he's entered the end zone, and not even 2 full games yet. This dude's a playmaker.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go. Fair catch called for and made. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Palmer.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
The offense lining up for a first down play. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. To the air, it's Daniels. Fires to the wideout. Working that left side.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
On second down, wants to throw it. Grabs it in the middle. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down.
It's hard to imagine that that's his first catch of this game so far. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, and they knew if they were going to win this game, he had to touch it a lot. They had to get him involved. They haven't been able to do that. That's a big reason why they're trailing by so much.
He wants to throw. He's going to take off. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. He's going to pass. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
This offensive line is not going to like watching the film back tomorrow when they get the opportunity, because they have gotten beat time and time again up front, especially in passing situations.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Well, the problem for this offense now late in the game, trailing by a bunch of points, is that the defense knows they're going to throw the football. And right now, offensively, they cannot protect the edge. You saw the speed coming from the outside. He was able to get to the quarterback for another negative play.
He throws one to the left. Got his man downfield. Big pickup before he goes out of bounds, but there is a flag. We'll have to see if it stands. So he just lost track of where the line of scrimmage was. The illegal forward pass will wave off the play. Penalty will be accepted. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Irish. Well, we wondered exactly where the momentum was, and it looks as if Uncle Mo might have switched sidelines and switched families.
And momentum is such a big thing. It's such a real part of college football, isn't it? You can just feel that right now. It just felt a few minutes ago like this game was over, and all of a sudden, this team, they're believing in themselves. They've got some win. They've got some hope. Their defense now needs to get the football back to keep that momentum going.
Why not double the try total and go for two? He got a little antsy at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move him back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And perhaps a slightly more difficult attempt from the 8. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished it with an explosive play in the passing game, scoring from 47 yards out. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver, the different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. We have arrived at the 2-minute warning, a one-possession game as this offense tries to hold on. They'll line up for a second down play. And they're able to get him on the ground. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
Huge play here late, and this crowd is coming to help the defense. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. And it's taken away by the defense, and they desperately needed that turnover. Going the other way, and he's got room. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. How about that D making the play and lining up the board and swinging some momentum in their favor? This time it's the defense finding ways to put points on the board.
There is nothing better than being a defender, seeing that ball in the end zone. Your eyes get big as saucers. Go, jump on that puppy, secure it, get you a touchdown.
Here comes the kickoff as we are all tied up in the 4th quarter. The returner will field it and try to do some business. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. A first down for the offense. Dropping back, it's Milroe. Coming after him. He was able to squirt free and pick up just a few on that one. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. 2nd down coming. He's looking to throw. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
I tell you what, coaches want you to do your best work late in the ball game. He did his best work. Great job taking off. Biggest run of the day after grinding this game out, makes it explosive, now trying to put this game in a good situation.
To the air on first down. Quick strike complete. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. Timeout is called by the offense. 16 seconds left in the game. I like this, taking the safe play, getting the positive gain, and seeing if you can build some momentum.
And I think it's making the right play, Reese. That's where quarterbacks get in trouble sometimes when they get too aggressive and then they get behind the sticks a little bit. I see a lot of space, take advantage of it, get it to my running back, let him chew that up, and now it's easier on the next down.
He's going to pass on 2nd down. He'll pull it down and run. This senior quarterback moving the chains and picking up a first down for his team. They get the timeout called. 11 seconds remaining to play. The Crimson Tide comes to the line with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Milroe. Throws to the wideout. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
This really has been a masterclass by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots and when to throw it
quick touch pass to the receiver. Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. Touchdown, Bama! And in the final moments, they've taken the lead.
And that is exactly what you want from this offense. Take almost all the clock, execute, and now go out and take a lead by a touchdown. Great, flawless execution by this offense.
Man, that was exhilarating. Incredible game from start to finish, and I mean the very finish.
And you have to dial in at those moments, right? It's easier said than done. Oh, I'm going to call this, but in the clutch, when you need it the most, you've got to put possessions together. You've got to get in the end zone to come through. This offense has got to be jacked.
Looking back on it, too, was there ever any doubt that was the guy they were going to go to when the game was on the line? This dude's been making plays all season long. You've got to put the ball in the hands of your best playmakers in situations like that, and that's what they did.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.